Okay, so now we will continue. I think Mohan has dropped off something, whatever. So what we were planning to do is we will have a swap variable. So if this variable is greater than the next one, then we will keep that value of this variable inside the swap, and this variable will get the value from the next variable, which will be I plus 1. So we have to call it as set. So there is a setter method, and as soon as you get the set, it takes two parameter. First parameter is the index, and second is the value, like the key and the value. Like the index would be whatever the ith value, and the next index would be another. Same thing we are going to do reverse for this. So here this will be I plus 1, and here this will be I. No, actually this will be swap. Now we'll try to print it. And one more thing, there is something called as break. So if I value of I is greater than or equal to the list size, then we have to break the loop. My sync, this is having some compilation issues. Okay, now this is good. They does not have any compilation issues now. I think my idea is behaving a little bit abruptly. Just a moment, please. As soon as this for loop comes up, it is giving trouble. How many values are there? So we are at the last step. Once we'll fix this, our sorting will work. So just give me a moment, guys. So we have a value I, and then we have as soon as it is less than the list. But there,
I have a doubt, sir.
yeah, tell me.
Sir, Uh, can I see the for loops? So when we are coming to the last item, if the size of the list is 7, when when it is rotating in the for loop, if I is equals to 7, as in the second if statement, you're comparing it with the next element which is not at all present actually. List of get of I is greater than list of get of I plus 1. If the list size is 7, you're comparing it with the eighth element which is not present, so it will throw an exception over there.
Yeah, that is
I
why
think.
we are trying to patch it here. That's the same problem. So we are trying to patch here. So I tried it over here and then it worked. This, so we will not, this thing will, break it and patch it. So we'll just
Okay.
keep it inside. Just give me a moment. So we have it over here. This is our for loop. Fine. Now we, from where, this is our for loop. We'll just try to replace this and we call it as temp. So now we have a temp it. Now I'll try to run. Yeah, and then it rain basically. So what it is doing now is you have 1 plus n plus 1 element, whatever is the last element. So in one layer it is getting sorted. So previously if you will see the data, it was this, but then it moved some of the data downwards. So it is pushing one data. If we might have to do it in a two sorting loop. So what is happening that it will compare this with this. If this is greater, it will move down, something like that. But we have to have n minus 1 iterations for entire, that is called as cyclometric complexity, which is nested loop inside the nested loop. So for so there was one pass. If this let's take this example. If this is 6,000, let's try to print it. So previously the 6,000 was there, but after going through this loop, it replaced it, pushed up this value up and then another value down, something like that. So if we'll take the example which will have the unsorted but the sequential values, it will work fine. Let's say this is 32, this one is 16, this one is 16, and let me cut all these and then we'll try to run it. So it is swapping one value at one interval. Now we might have to put it inside another for loop. This we can say as j. Int j is equal to 0. J is less than, then we say j plus plus. So this will not be the perfect working. What happened here? It is saying list has undefined. How come it is undefined? Okay, my bad. There was one thing missing. We fixed it. Now we will try to run this. So the results are coming 34, 32, 26, and 16. So we are able to get 26 promoted up there. We got the 16 also up here, but there is something which needs to be corrected. So what I am going to do is I am going to push it as is, and then you guys have to fill it up basically and make it work so that it should sort it. There will be some I here or there, whatever up and down. That would be your homework. I'll leave it till here, and then we'll go to the other link where we have to cover up those collections. Let me push it for you. Git add git.
Hi, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I had sent some code in chat box, like just like before starting class, I had tried this, like it's working, sir.
Okay, let me see that. You tried this and it worked.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, let me try. So this code is from where to where? This is this
Mm.
method. Okay, now let's try to run this. So the we have to put it in nested for loop because there is two and one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there some nesting would be there, but we are on the right track, right? So algorithm seems to be good, but we have to do n minus one pass. As we go inside another loop, we have to sort it. So that is fine. Just try to think more about it and fix it and push it in your own folder. That this would be your homework to implement the sort algorithm and correct it in. You also tried the nested for loop, right? some
Yeah,
some
yes, sir.
condition some condition would be there. Okay, now let's quickly go through a link which I wanted to cover. So we'll just start that and then we'll continue with that, and you guys might have to go through it. So we'll use this link basically to understand the hierarchy. Is it okay if I extend 15 more minutes now?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. So the what is this? Whatever collection, it has to be iterable. Iterable means whenever you are trying to do for loop or whatever, so it has some methods. So these are the interfaces in the yellow, and then there are some classes. So the classes will have some code. So once you do the subclassing of that, you will get some ready-made method implemented to be used basically. Now what is happening is you have iterable and collection. This is the hierarchy. You have a link and a set. Now set, I call it as a duplicate remover, which means in the list you can have same element repeat itself. But sometime when you don't want when you want things to be unique, then you have to add it in the set. So we will generate the set. We'll just quickly go through it and then we'll generate the set, and I'll let you know how that vanishes. So in the list there are multiple implementations. So list is the interface. Against the list you can either have array list or linked list or vector or stack. So we'll not go in much deep in this. Mostly array list uses, and then people also use linked list. For interview or theory purpose this is okay, but 99% of the time people will go with the array list. So they do the same stuff, they have same interface, means same method to add, remove or whatever, but they are the algorithm which is implemented implicitly inside, that is something different from case to case basis. So if you are taking a list but you want faster retrieval, then you might take array list. If you want to modify it, delete it real quick, and lot of modification has to happen, then the implementation you can take from linked list. So what do I mean by you take the implementation from that is, so technically you do like this. You have to take the list, or I will control that. Just a moment. So here you can say I want to take the linked list. linked linked list. So you will get the implementation from the linked list, and everything will remain same. So your whatever is inside that will not change. sorry, whatever is the implement, whatever are the methods which got exposed for adding or setting or getting, they'll remain same, but the way internal algorithm works, that will change. So that's the only thing which we need to pick up on case to case basis. And now let's go with this link again. So they also have queue, they have different implementation here. So we will, you guys please go through it and read it. Basically that would be your homework or your tomorrow's task, to go through the documentation. It is very descriptive. Now we'll move to the next. Now this is called as the array list class. Now array list has iteration, collection, which is list, abstract list is another class, and the base probably what we instantiate is list. So abstract class cannot be instantiated. This is another commonly asked questions in interview. And why it cannot be instantiated? Because in abstract class there are few methods which does not have any implementation. So if by suppose if Java allows you to instantiate it, and if someone calls that method itself, there is nothing, then it's no point. That is why Java says that whenever whichever class is abstract, which does not have fully implementation at the bottom, it cannot be instantiated. So please go through this link. I am going quickly, and you guys can ask me question tomorrow. So there is something which is called as generic and non-generic. So generic means once you define the proper data type over there. So we have given it as integer. So if I'll try to add a string inside this, it would give me error. Look, because this is generic. Generic means whatever generic type, you can add different specific integers, but generically it has to be an integer, it cannot be a string or a float. So you can make a non-generic list as well. Now this will allow you to add anything. So you can add apples and oranges or everything. But if you make it the list of apples generically, then you have to only add apples. You cannot add oranges. So this is what it is. You will see same stuff there. They also have given some code. You can try this code out. I will share this link also on the email. So, and put the code also inside there. Now you have add all list, add all as well. Add all means if you have some another array list, you can pass it inside this, and that will add everything inside that array list. This is a very straightforward simple example. We can just try this out, or you guys can try this out. Remove also works. And to try it out, it also gives you here test it now. So if you go there, it will say okay, test it now, and then compile and run. So this will give you this. You can tweak the code over here itself just for your practice. So if this is a string, and what you are trying to do is you have a AL and AL2, and then you are trying to do add all of AL of AL2 inside this. So that is how once you do it, then you are trying to iterating. Iterating means AL dot iterator. Iterator is an interface which gives you the iterable. As long as it has the next element, it will continue, and then it will continue typing your element, whatever is the next element. The moment it does not have next element, it would stop. So this is the same kind of diagram which was I was telling you yesterday, that there is one box and another box and another box. So until and unless it is able to find it has next box, some next memory address or location to be printed, it will continue inside this loop. Otherwise, it will get stopped. So this is your next thing. Now, so okay, so we will take the halt over here. What I would recommend you guys is go through the link. It has a lot of implementation. So what we will be covering is comparable and comparator interface, and then we have to cover probably map and sort. Let me just take you to the hash that, right? We'll just try it out right away because we have to do a lot. We have less time. So we'll just try and create a class with set. So why I want you guys to understand the duplicate remover, how that works. Fine. So this is a simple code. What you did is hash that is the interface, and you are saying I am going to add all the generic type, all the strings inside it. You named it as set, and then you instantiated the hash set. So you can always take it as set and then hash that. There is a best practice which is called as always program against the interface and not against the classes. So interface can be changed at any point in time. If they have three more methods, it doesn't matter. So just try not to, this object reference type has to be interface instead of making the concrete class. Okay, anyways, so what we are trying to do here in this example, first let's try to run this. See if it works. It works. So if you have a duplicate entry, we have duplicate entry, it will remove the duplicate entry. However, if it would have been a list, then it might have not returned that. We can make it as a list of string. We'll name it as set again, just for faster turnaround time, and then we'll say new array list of string. Now it is saying it's not able to find, so we will satisfy its package, and we missed out the semicolon. Now we'll run this. So we see all the guys which have got repeated. So this has its own use cases. For example, you are trying to do some creating a shopping list. So sometime we add milk two times or three times whenever we remember, and it becomes difficult. Our main motive, we just wanted to get one milk. So something like that, if by mistake some duplication is happening, we can avoid it. That is when we have to use this data structure. So when which data structure has to be used, that should come basically depending on what use case it is. And then they have the example. So tomorrow we will finish all of these example. We'll run whatever question answers you have. We will cover, and we most important or concept would be to understand these interfaces, comparable and comparator. So we'll implement both of them, and then we will see, like, you guys have to push your code for the sorting algorithm, whatever nested, or just try it out, and then we'll pull it and run it on local, each one of your algorithm, and see how it works. Fine. Any questions, Naren or Spurti?
No, sir.
Fine. Okay, guys, then we will yeah, meet tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, do we have class on this Thursday, sir?
No, in this Thursday we don't have the class. Now we will have it on. So tomorrow we will finish this, and then we will have it on Saturday.
Yeah, like, would you don't mind in taking some longer sessions on Saturday and Sunday, sir?
Sure, we can take a 2 hour session. Would that be fine?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Sure. So this Saturday and Sunday we will take a 2 hour session. And what time would do you want
Because
morning time or noon time? What time you would prefer?
oh, in morning timing, sir, like the same time, 10 to 12.
Okay, sure. So let's do it 10 to 12 Saturday and 10 to 12 Sunday. And I would
Yeah,
request,
because like
yeah, sure, please go ahead.
yeah, like we are familiar with these topics, like, but we need some more like practical examples on topics like threads and serialization.
Sure, sure.
Yes, yeah.
Tomorrow we will cover serialization. I mean, actually, as per we have to move, so we will finish. So actually, I have to also finish this equals method also. But
Yeah, yes, sir.
so I'll just wrap this equals method now, and tomorrow we'll finish data structures. And what I would say, you should have your questions ready. So once I'll start the session, I will take up your questions first. Then we will finish our implementation, comparable, comparator, and quickly all the data sets, how they have been used and everything. So that and on this thing on weekend, Saturday and Sunday, so we will finish threads, and then we will finish your serialization. The concept seems difficult, but it is super simple to implement. We will just write the object in the
Okay.
some file, basically. That is, it's just like a balloon. You inflame it and deflame. It will hardly take half an hour, and the concept will be super clear in your mind. You will see a working example, and then I'll also give you the assignment of doing same homework, short homework of serializing and deserializing a class. So it's doable.
Yeah, okay.
Fine.
Yeah, fine, sir.
Okay, so tomorrow we have to cover a lot. Probably, if required, we can take tomorrow's session also a little bit long. I will update you tomorrow. Fine, before. And this,
Yeah, like you said, now you will cover this equals method, right,
yeah,
sir?
and this same link would work. So what happens in equals, basically, that equals main method, you already have the equal implemented. Now there is some way between two objects if they are equal or not. So first thing to compare if two objects are equal is there, that is called as referential equality. If two objects have same reference, then they are equal. So I'll just let you know the example here first. So let us try to create one object. We have a class, and name of the class is car 1, because we have so many cars inside, and inside the car we have a name. So I'm just doing a quick and a poor coding. Don't that's not, we are not encapsulating it, we are not doing anything, we are just making a subclass. But this is car 1. Now what happens is, if I'm trying to create a object here, and I say car equals C, car. So what would be the result? Would it be true or false? So first the result came true. So this is called as referential equality, because both reference are good. But let's say if you have car 1 and car 2. So if you compare car 1 with car 2, and probably if both have same names or everything, you can pass it as the constructor, whatever is the name. And then if two cars have same name, how would I make you understand? Let me make you understand. This time this is false. So this was the value which is speaking about it. I should be more explicit. Are they equal? And this is important concept. Once you will understand, it will clear your mind so easily. So there they could be the same object type, but since the memory heap location is different, they are called as they are not equal. It is telling it as false. So we have to have some parameter wherein we will define if something is equal or not. So what we can do is we can pass it inside the name, inside the constructor, and then we'll try to understand. Now if we have to name it, right? So we can call it as BMW, and this car is also BMW, and we have third car which is Honda. So no matter our objects can be different, but what we want is if the name is same, it's the same car. It doesn't matter if it's the different object type or sorry, object reference. So this thing we need to achieve. So how this can be achieved? How do you compare these two objects on some parameter which is called as the equals method? So now we will try to implement the equal method, and we will compare if the name is same, then no matter they are different object, but we will consider it same. So we will go here in this object, and then we will try to implement. So what does this is a bit complex example. We will just cover up in a very easy way basically, right? So what we are going to do is we have to return if they are equal or not at the last, after comparing them on some in some ways. So we will say if we have to compare name. So if the name of this object equals name of another object, we need to cast it basically. If name of two things are equal, we say it is equal, otherwise we say it is not equal. Now it is saying that once you try to implement this guy, you have to cast it, because you are trying to break the whatever mm, contract it has. So you might have to try out the casting. This is called as casting. So now we have to explicitly cast it. So you have to have one more bracket. Now this should be good. Fine. Now what do you see is you have two different cars. So once you have not overridden this method, it was taking the hash code by default in its internal way, and it was checking if there are two objects, only they are treated as equal if they have same memory address. So it says if two objects are at the same memory location, then it is equal, otherwise not. But technically, from our business perspective, if we go to a showroom and we see two different cars, but they are from the same company, let's say both are BMW. So, okay, this is the same car. We say this is the same car, right? Same way, we need some way to, program to understand that these two guys are same. So we can have different parameters. In this example, what we have implemented over here is we just implemented it by using the name. if they have same names, it can be same. Now I have implemented it in more ways here. If they have the same, if two-person, if they have same name, they are equal. It cannot happen because two-person can have same names, but they would be different. So we are checking it in two parameters. If they have the same name and the same age, if both condition meets, then these two person are the same person or they are equal. Otherwise, they are not. So this code has been pushed. Just try to run and understand that. Fine. Now I have another call with my offshore team from India. So I'll catch you tomorrow, same time. Thanks, guys.